So if you've been doing any type of research online about soundproofing, you must have come across this expensive gem called green glue noise proofing compound. Now, not to be confused with the other green glue noise proofing sealant. Noise proofing sealant, noise proofing compound, they're a little bit different. One, the sealant is for around windows and doors where cracks would form, just to seal all those cracks and those gaps. And the noise proofing compound is the stuff that goes between two layers of drywall to make the wall more soundproof. The only problem is usually when I recommend this type of product, it's more as an add-on, just something extra that you can do. Because the sheets of drywall is what's going to be what really soundproofs the wall, and not the stuff that you put in between the drywall, which is, in this video, we're talking about green glue. Now, some people might ask, well, then does it actually work? Well, yeah, it does work to an extent, but for the price, right now, the price has gone up, and for just one tube of green glue noise proofing compound on Amazon is around $30. So you would need, they recommend 2 tubes of green glue to do 1 sheet of drywall. But for an added $60 per sheet, you're better off just to go out and buy some soundproofing drywall, which is around $40 to $50 a sheet. So think about that. The thing is some people wonder, does this stuff actually work? Well, it does work to an extent, because what it does, if it's applied properly, it does create a barrier in between the 2 sheets of drywall. But will it make a huge noticeable difference? I haven't seen that. So that's why I say it's more of an add-on. If you use the drywall to get rid of a few decibels, and you can get rid of maybe half of a decibel with green glue or something in between the drywall, mass loaded vinyl is something else that I recommend. If you want more information on that, video right there. But let's jump back to the green glue. What it does, 2 tubes of this in between drywall will create a barrier in between the drywall that is said to transform sound waves into heat, which, let's face it, if you put any type of glue in between the drywall, it will essentially do the same. The elasticity of that product will absorb some of the sound waves and disperse it. But also what it does, it helps seal all the gaps. Anywhere that you would put drywall screws right into the studs, this stuff will go into those holes and seal that even better. So basically every little things help, but at what cost? That's the problem. And is there an alternative to something such as this? Well, there is. So I asked around online and some colleagues, what would you use to basically be an alternative to green glue? Something that works pretty well the same, if not better, and that costs a fraction of the price. And they all basically said the same thing. We use a type of carpet glue. But the difference is there's a few different types of carpet glues. And the ones that I have here, you can get them on Amazon and Home Depot. I'll have the links in the description below. And this one is the Roberts Indoor-Outdoor Carpet Adhesive. And there's also the multi-purpose adhesive. So the one that's recommended to use for this type of soundproofing project is the Indoor-Outdoor Adhesive and not the multi-purpose. The reason is because the Indoor-Outdoor is a little bit thicker and it stays tackier once it's dried. The multi-purpose is just not as thick and it dries a little bit harder. So it won't have that same type of consistency as the green glue noise proofing compound has. What I would recommend is to buy a full gallon if you plan on doing the wall, and to spread it evenly. Make sure that you spread it across all the surface completely. I find that when you watch these videos of green glue, they're just squirting it on. Even if you do use green glue, I would still recommend, instead of just squirting it on and smashing the 2 drywalls together, make sure to just spread it out evenly to make sure that it's everywhere, because that's the whole point. So here, just to give you an example of what these 3 products looks like after it's been dried out, I poured this on this sheet of drywall last night. The green glue, as you can see, it's quite gummy still, so as it should be. And right here where the drywall would be, it is very sticky. Now this patch right here is the Indoor-Outdoor. It's this one. And it is a lot tackier and sticky. It's not as sticky as the green glue, but it is tacky, and that is what you'll want. Now, this one, the multi-purpose, it just dries a lot quicker, and it's hard. It's just not as tacky. So this one would be the way to go. And I would definitely recommend you buying it by the gallon because you'll save a lot of money. This I paid $13, and for a gallon, it's around $20, $24 for a gallon, depending on where you buy it. So as I said, for something that is more of an add-on, for something that will take care a little bit more of the lower frequency noise, the vibrational noise, then it's worth doing, but it's not worth doing if you are going to be spending an extra $60 per sheet of drywall. If you just go out, buy a gallon of indoor-outdoor carpet glue and make sure to, as I said, evenly on the sheet of drywall, put another sheet of drywall on. If by doing that, you can get rid of 0.5 to 1 decibel, because as I mentioned before, just by cutting the amounts of decibels by just 3 will essentially cut the noise in half. So remember that. But is it worth just getting rid of 0.5 decibels and paying $60 per sheet? Now you can buy green glue in a 5-pack and also in 12 packs, and it does cut the price down to about $27 a tube. But when you can go out and buy a gallon of indoor-outdoor for $24 and do multiple sheets of drywall with it, then it makes more sense to go ahead and do that just to cut down on your 0.5 to 1 decibel. Then I would really recommend doing that, because if you've already cut 2.5 decibels with your drywall and maybe with your insulation you've cut a little bit more, then cutting an extra 0.5 or 1 decibel is worth it if you're only going to be paying $20 to $25 for a full gallon of this, which will probably do an entire wall. Then I would recommend it. Would I recommend green glue at that price for what it does? Personally, I wouldn't, just because it just brings your soundproofing project up in price by 30 to 40 to 50%, depending on how much you spend on the rest of the stuff and how far you're willing to go in terms of soundproofing. It's just not worth it. However, if you can cut 0.5 to 1 decibel and it only costs you an extra 5, maybe 10% of your overall cost, then it's more something to look into. Then you just have to ask yourself, is it worth it? Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. And also, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I'll try my best to answer each and every question. And also, I'll be looking for questions to answer in future videos. So it gives me good ideas and it helps out the community. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Feel free to take a look at many of our other YouTube videos and also some of our articles on our website, soundproofguide.com. Don't forget to click the like button if you enjoyed this video.